DeMar DeRozan has 3 teams interested in pursuing him, including the Los Angeles Lakers, the Miami Heat, and the Sacramento Kings. And I'm going to examine those 3 teams and see how DeMar DeRozan fits in with each of those teams. The first one being the Los Angeles Lakers. After missing out on James Harden, Klay Thompson, and Jonas Valanciunas, they're now looking to pivot to find a new wrinkle to add to their team. And that player, that new wrinkle, is looking to be DeMar DeRozan. In a scenario to bring in DeMar, they're going to have to ship off D'Lo in a sign and trade because they don't have any money left for the mid-level consumption now that LeBron has re-signed for 2 years, $104 million. So they would lose D'Lo, they bring DeMar in. And my question is, why? Why do you bring DeMar DeRozan onto your team? You look at the Lakers last season, and there was 3 needs that they need to work on to improve their roster, 2 glaring ones. The first one is 3-point shooting. Last year, they were dead last on 3-point attempts. The second one, rebounds. They were bottom 3 in total rebounds per game, and they were dead last in offensive rebounds per game. And then the third one would be defense. They were middle of the pack defensively. Anthony Davis is a great defender, all defensive first team, should get all the props in the world. But those were the big 3 issues. And the main one, in my opinion, was rebounding, but that's a story for another day. So you bring in DeMar DeRozan. And my question is, what does he add to this team? You look at him as a player, sure, numbers look cool. 24 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game. Shot 48 from the field, 33 from 3. Not like perfect, not the best in the world, but that's not his play style, and that's totally cool. And about 85% from the free throw line. And all I see DeMar DeRozan bringing to this team is another player that adds to the long list of problems the Lakers have. That's no hate towards DeMar. Like I said, great player. He's had an exceptional 14, 15-year career, but his play style does not fit what the Lakers need. 3-point shooting has been an issue for the Lakers. And what are they going to do? They're going to bring in a guy who made a career off of the mid-range. Last year, he shot 33% from behind the arc on 2.8 attempts. You're not helping the shooting. Rebounding. He's not a big man. He's not a center. Like, he's not going to help you with rebounding. You shouldn't be counting on him to get your rebounding if that's what you're hoping for, because that's not his role. Again, that's no hate towards him, but he's not a 6'10", 7-foot player. He shouldn't be the guy trying to get your rebounds. And then defensively, he's older. It has nothing to do with durability. It's just he's 34, 35 years old, about to be 36, I believe. He's actually at 35, about to be 36. You can't count on him to go out there and guard Anthony Edwards, and then Jamal Murray, and then Steph Curry, and then, hey, we got LaMelo Ball coming up, Jalen Brunson, we need you to go guard these players. He's not. Like, that shouldn't be an expectation for him. So I think when you bring DeMar DeRozan in, you just add to your long list of problems. And also, consequently, you're subtracting a player who's actually helped you in one of those areas, in D'Lo. People love to rip on D'Angelo Russell, and I personally have no idea why. D'Lo is the one player that actually adds a wrinkle to the Lakers team aside from LeBron and AD in terms of, hey, I can help with your deficiency. I can shoot the ball. Now, you look at the numbers and you look at him play, and people make all the jokes. Oh, he went 1 for 12 tonight. He's not built to shoot 12 threes per game. I mean, quite frankly, nobody is. But he can make them, and he can attempt them. But that shouldn't be his role. He's a good player offensively. And I think you're losing out on let's think, Connect. We're going to leave him at a question mark because Connect was like, he's a rookie. We don't know what to expect from him. Taurean Prince, LeBron, and D'Lo were the 3 best 3-point shooters on the team last year. And D'Lo played more minutes than Taurean, so you're essentially taking away your second best 3-point shooter on your team. Like, that makes no sense. So the Lakers bring in DeMar, it's going to be a disaster class. I don't think there's a fit for him on here. That's no hate towards DeMar. That's just a question of what the heck are you doing in Los Angeles? Like, that's not the player you need. So the fit there does not match. Horrible, horrible idea. You're taking away a player that actually benefits you, and you're adding somebody that's just going to make your problems more glaring. I don't get it. I really don't. The second team that is interested in bringing in DeMar DeRozan of the Miami Heat, and the Miami Heat are actually a very sneaky team in terms of bringing them in. Their roster is very well constructed. They have rebounders. They have shooting. They have stars. They have it all. You name it. You name a player. You name a height. You name a skill set. They have the lockdown defenders. Like, they have everybody needed. So they have the ability to bring in whoever they have in mind, which is awesome for them. And I was looking at their team and I was saying, well, DeMar, do you think he's going to want to start? Right? Because you have Jimmy at the 3, Bam at, we'll say, the 5, Jovic at the 4, or you could bring Khalil Ware in, put him at the 5, Bam at the 4. And then you have Terry Rozier at the 1 and Tyler Hero at the 2. And it's a question, is DeMar going to slide in that shooting guard position? Hero comes off the bench. Is Hero going to be the point guard? DeMar's a shooting guard and Rozier comes off the bench? And I found the answer in the question. DeMar is going to be the one coming off the bench. He would be awesome for it. His entire career, he's been the best player on every team he's been on. The Raptors, the Spurs, and then the Chicago Bulls. He's had to take charge, and he's had to play as number one option on all three of those teams. And I think DeMar, coming off the bench, he'd be the number one option. Sure, you can bring him in during crunch time, but he'd be the number one option off the bench. And knowing that he gets to operate an entire unit, he still gets to be the best player on the court at all times, just like he has been the past 15 years in the NBA. And I really like that idea because you have a vocal leader, a veteran leader come in and command the offense and build your team around. And you don't need to have him go out there and guard the best player on the court at all times or chuck threes because he can play his play style. Like they have pieces to put around him. They can put Duncan Robinson in there if we need a 3-point shooter. We have Hami Jaquez or a Khalil Ware or Nikola Jovic, whatever of those guys come off the bench to get the rebounds, right? Unlike the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think DeMar would be a perfect fit in the Miami Heat with that bench unit. And then you look at the rest of the team, mainly if you focus on their number one, their star, Jimmy Butler. Since 2017, Jimmy Butler has played one season where he played 60 games or more in that single regular season. And that was actually last year. But point is, Jimmy Butler has a track record of not having sustainability on the court. And you can live with it because of all his playoff success and the culture that he brings to every team he's been on, which is like a lock-in mindset. So you live with that. But that's also part of the reason why Pat Riley didn't extend him. So point is, you know Jimmy's going to miss time. Look at DeMar DeRozan. In his 15-year career, there's only been 3 seasons where he played under 70 games. And every season, he's played over 60 games. Last year, he played 79 games. And this is all regular season. So point is, he's durable and he can stay on the court. And his play style, in my opinion, is very comparable to the play style of Jimmy Butler. They like the mid-range. Jimmy probably shoots a 3 a little bit better. They can facilitate an offense, can slash in the paint, right? And they have that same mentality of, I'm just going to attack you. And I'm also going to be able to knock down a mid-range in your face. And so it allows you to realize, hey, if Jimmy's off the court due to an injury, our offense, sure, maybe DeMar isn't as good as Jimmy, but it's going to be easy to replicate because he has the same play style. It's almost like looking at quarterbacks in the NFL and the backups. And every backup quarterback is essentially that same type of play style to whoever they're backing up, right? Because it allows the offense to operate and not to change how it plays. Sure, it may not be as efficient because it's not your starting quarterback, but you don't need to change the entire scheme of it because it's virtually the same guy stepping in. And that's how I see DeMar signing in with the Heat. And I love that move. So I think DeMar in the Heat would be a magical fit. A magical fit. The last team that expressed interest in DeMar DeRozan was the Sacramento Kings. And if this were to happen, I think DeMar would be the starter and virtually take over Harrison Barnes' spot. Harrison Barnes would be out the door, whether that's to the Chicago Bulls or another move's made and he's going elsewhere. Because they bring DeMar in to be the starter over Harrison Barnes. And I can say right off the bat that I don't like the fit there. It's not that he can't mesh with those guys, but it's more so the pace and the play style. DeMar has been a half-court operator. He likes to get the half-court offense off, like going. You bring the ball slowly up the court and you orchestrate your offense from there. Well, the Kings, they like to play running gun. They're fast. They play fast. If you have De'Aaron Fox the ball, he's running a mile a minute. He's taking off. And everybody else, go to the three-point line because if I can't score inside, I'm kicking it out. You're knocking down the 3. So bonus, you play point forward, you do your thing because you're an all-star and you're honestly a top 3 to 5 big man in the league, right? That's the truth. And I look at DeMar and I just don't see the fit there. The Bulls ranked bottom 5 in pace last year. And it's not that DeMar can't blend in with them, I just don't think he's gonna blend in with them 100%. I think he'll be able to blend in about 80%. He's not gonna be able to be fully in sync with the team. And the way they play that running gun style, I just don't I think that's gonna be, again, a takeaway. I think you're just you play your game for a reason. You look at the Pacers. Why do they have so much success in the East? Because they were running and gunning, and they would just chuck points, chuck threes, and outscore you. Why were the Kings so effective in the West? We're gonna run at you, we're gonna chuck points, we're gonna try and score as many points, more points than you can. And you bring in DeMar, I think that just limits their play style. He's not gonna go out there and say, "Okay, I'm gonna stay loose beyond the three-point line, and you just chuck it out to me, I'll knock him down." That's not his role, that's not his play style. So I just don't see the fit there. And again, I think you're just subtracting. Harrison Barnes fits well there. I'm higher on him than others, but he fits the team well. And he can go out there and he can sit perimeter. You can look for an upgrade over Harrison, but I don't think DeMar's that answer. So out of those three teams, I think the team that fits DeMar DeRozan the best are the Miami Heat. I think just the way he can sink in, operate an offense, as well as have a chance to come in and take over for Jimmy if Jimmy's out, it's perfect. He plays the Heat style of basketball, and he's gonna have a perfect role for him. When it comes to where do I think he's gonna sign, I think if the Heat truly do want him, he's going to Miami. I really do believe that. The Lakers can make a compelling point of saying, "Hey, come on home," right? You're from LA, you're from Compton, come back to Los Angeles, wear the Lakers, wear the purple and gold. But I think the Heat, if they really want him, they're going to get him. But I do think it's a two-horse race between the Lakers and the Heat, with the Heat, in my opinion, edging them out. But we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers can make some move. I just don't think it'd be the right move. So let me know your thoughts and opinions.